but never somebody who's further along in their faith than I am.
So I watched this video from one of the ladies on Girls Gone Bible. She says she knows why she's not yet married. She hasn't met a guy who is further ahead spiritually than her. Now, that may be true for her, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can watch the video yourself. Once in a while, if I see something that I know might not really help a sister, I should point it out. If you're in your 20s and looking to get married, this should not be your precept. This should not be your way of thinking about marriage. Naturally, most ladies want someone more spiritual than them, and I get it. But here's the point: spirituality is relative. Let me run you through my own experience of my first 1 or 2 years of being a spirit-filled Christian. Now, when you are newly filled with the Holy Spirit and there's fire, if you are not careful, you begin to look down on people. You don't know until you've gone past this stage. I was there. I was surprised why believers who were before me couldn't have this little faith to do this, to do that. But later, when the fire came down a bit, or the excitement, whatever you want to call it, I began to see things more clearly. I understood why some things happened the way they did. Now, some Christians stay longer on this level, and as long as you are on this level, you cannot really perceive spiritual things as good as someone who has passed the stage. So that way, it is very easy to misjudge who is spiritual or who is not spiritual. So I just want to be clear on this. The Bible never said, do not be unequally yoked with a fellow believer, but unbelievers. So once we are clear with that, our focus should be finding someone who is a true believer, not someone more spiritual. I'm not saying this is the case for the lady on Girls Gone Bible, but this might be for a lot of you who are watching this video right now. So that's why I'm putting this here. Marriage is two becoming one. Of course, a man and a woman, according to the Bible. But it usually starts with a guy first approaching a lady. You could have somebody in the pulpit preaching nicely, but when you get close to that person, when you stay under the same roof with the person, you wonder if they have manners. And the way they live their life, you begin to wonder, is this the same person that preached? It happens. We've seen a lot of it. Now, what about this guy who doesn't have that pulpit, colorful ministry, but he has all the manners? He's collected. As far as living with him is concerned, he's solid. We've seen that too. So my advice to you ladies is simple. Don't be carried away by this spiritual thing. Make sure you are marrying somebody who is equally saved as you are. That's what you want to check. Is this guy saved? Does he have good intentions towards me? There was a time in my life where I had a sibling and we both found God at the same time, or you can say God found us. We received the Holy Spirit baptism at the same time, but somehow we were growing in different ways. We began to argue about little things. What we didn't understand was that God was teaching him what he needed to learn at that particular time and teaching me what I needed to learn. But we were busy competing unknowingly. Things like, how can you say you don't know this? This is what God is showing me. Why can't you see this? It's so clear. So fast forward 5 years, 10 years down the line, we saw that both of us were actually correct on what God was teaching us. We were just too focused on what God was teaching us as individuals. We didn't have ears to hear what the other person was saying. Now, this is very critical. You are getting into marriage to complement one another. There's no way somebody will be so spiritual that on every front they are better than you. You are going to have something. You are going to have some level of spirituality, most likely more than the other person. You can see something maybe they are not saying, even if it's just about maybe the message or something about their ministry that they cannot perceive from their own standpoint. There is just something about you that will be different from someone else, regardless of how spiritual they are. That is where complementing one another is key. If you understand that concept, it's going to be very helpful. Once again, the reason I'm making this video is this. If you've watched that particular video or people are telling you that you need someone more spiritual than you, don't make that your rule. Women generally don't fall for men they don't respect. Yes, but there is a woman who brought a man to Christ. At the end of the day, she married him. Check for salvation, check for character, check for intentions, then trust God to grow both of you. If this helped you, drop compliment in the comments. Share this with a sister who needs to hear it. Subscribe for biblical marriage without any fluff. Stay blessed. Remember, every godly lady deserves a godly man.